Okay.
I mean, I've been very concerned with with civil society as a citizen my whole career, and and civil rights. I've been very concerned. I do not want the police to treat people unequally based on extraneous factors like the color of their skin. That's unjust and wrong. That's not the kind of society I want to live in. I've been very worried about press freedom around the world, including in our society, and freedom of expression in our society. So when I was at Harvard, before I moved to Yale in 2013, I came to the defense of some students who were using satire to criticize some elite final clubs. And these were minority students. I have come to the defense of doctors and nurses during the time of COVID, where they were reporting what was happening and their employers tried to punish them, which is ridiculous. Like, what kind of civilized society tries to stop people from speaking? That is not the kind of society I don't think we want to live in. And in fact, the pandemic began in part because China, the Chinese Communist Party, tried to stop some of the doctors in Wuhan from sounding the alarm.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a Chinese Communist Party convention, I think January the 11th or 12th of 2020, as the epidemic was gathering steam. And the local authorities there didn't want the emerging epidemic to, upset the apple cart of the planned party convention. And so they quashed the communication and the free expression of scientists and physicians working in that, and that was harmful. And we in the United States repeated that mistake in many ways. And I've also spoken out against, the constraints on free expression on college campuses, which I think are ridiculous. I think it's not just that we ought not punish people for expressing themselves. It's that we ought to affirmatively encourage free expression and tolerate things that we don't want to hear. If you tell me you're in favor of free expression, I would ask you to say, who is a person whose ideas you disagree with that you would either defend or that you would invite to speak on your campus? If you can't name such a person that you disagree with, that you want to come and speak on your campus, then you're not actually in favor of free expression. You're just in favor of the expression of people you agree with. So, and I think in our college campuses should absolutely be the place where no ideas are prohibited, where any idea can be discussed. Now, that doesn't mean if you hear an idea you disagree with, you can't denounce it.
Of course, yeah.
Of course you can.
That's part of it. That's part of the
dance.
Yes,
that's the contention. That's right. And I would say, if you are so convinced of the rectitude of your ideas, win the battle of ideas. Win the argument. Don't silence the opponent. The answer to speech you do not like is more speech. And this way in which we seek to fire people for their expression, which is on the right and on the left, it occurs, by the way. It's not just the left that is trying to fire people. The right is also trying to fire people. It's immature. It's just immature for a great nation like ours. We should be able to hear what someone says and say, I completely disagree with what you're saying, and here's why,
Yeah. And at institutions that are, the place where, our elite university system,
Yes, and you should teach your students, if you don't, you should have them read Tinker v. Des Moines.
Yeah.
Right? That the free speech does not stop at the schoolhouse gate. It's one of the canonical Supreme Court findings, and high school students could benefit from reading from that. And then you should say to them, what would be the new thing? There's bong hits for Jesus, that other famous case where these high school students were wearing this t-shirt that said bong hits for Jesus, and the principal saw the student off campus wearing this t-shirt and then sought to sanction the student. But the students will be on the side of the kid wearing bong hits for Jesus. So what you need to do is you need to ask the students, what's something you disagree with?
Yeah.
That you would defend that kid from wearing that t-shirt. And that's a hard lesson for young people to learn.